you know, nutrition wise, my body just started doing what it do. Like I didn't tell my body to just get bigger or nothing. Like no, I'm naturally skinny. Like I tell people, I'm skinny, but I weigh heavy. I don't know why. You know what I mean? Like, but like when I started working out, a lot of people don't know this, but I started working out for Canelo in February. This was a process. They think this happened overnight. I started working out in February. Chet was like, "Come on, man, you gonna get this Canelo fight? We gotta start now. You gotta start working on your legs, working on your power, so you can withstand the big shots, and you're gonna be punching your arms and this and that and this." So we already preparing for Canelo in February. So when they say, "Oh man, he just gained all this weight," no, that was a process. It was both and then cut.
I mean, that's how you got to get ready for something like that. And you chose also not to take a tune-up fight. So what was the math you did with that? He's still fighting. So some people say, "Oh, you're going to be sharp, you're going to be rusty."
I don't believe in that. Some people believe in that. I don't. Because I think you get your sharpness from sparring and in the gym. If you sharp in the gym, you're going to be sharp in the fight. That's just me. A lot of people don't believe that. They say, "Oh, well, the fight is different in the gym and sparring and stuff like that." I'm saying, yeah, it is.
It is different.
But at the same time, you're still getting punches thrown at you. You still, gotta, move properly in the gym. So, me being in the game for so long, your body needs rest.
Yeah, especially as you get older.
Your body needs rest. So when you having these camps after camps after camps, thinking that, I'm staying active, you constantly tearing down your body.
Yeah.
So when they say, "Oh, well, Terrence, he fights one time a year," that's cool. You know what I mean? For me, if I fight twice a year, that'd be great. But one time a year, hey, I'm giving my body the proper time it needs to recover. Because as I got older, that's just as important as anything else is recovery. So when you listening to your body and your body telling you, "Oh, my knees hurting from all this running, my ankles hurting from all this running, my elbows is hurting, my hands, my wrists, my neck," things like that. You gotta listen to your body and just say, "All right, decompress. I'm gonna just chill out and let my body just do what it do."
I know you had a great camp, but brother, you finna be 38 soon, like in a day or two, couple days, right? How was that last camp you just had?
It was great.
I know it was great. Well, did you feel different at 37?
A little bit.
You can choose to raid the caravan, or you can choose to guard it. This is a game where slaying monsters are not the only way to grow stronger. Heck, it's not even the main way. Discover relics in the ruins. Loot treasures from abandoned camps. Learn skills by finishing quests. Profit from trading routes. Build your own territory. Choose your own way to play.
Yeah.
You ain't had no bumps and bruises?
Man, we always got bumps and bruises.
I'm saying bumps and bruises at 37.
And I had bumps and bruises at 27. You know what I mean?
They different at 37.
Man, it's all the same.
Yeah.
You're not never gonna go into camp and come out, 100% healthy. And a lot of people is asking me, how did I feel? I had a lot going on in camp. This fight, the last fight, the fight before. Yeah.
Life stuff and the pressure.
Yeah, but injuries too. Injuries too.
So you didn't go into that fight 100%, you think? I asked for no details.
No, not at all. I don't know when did I ever win in a fight. You know what I mean? But these last few years, I'm way past 100%. But it's just what we got to deal with. That's why we have the technologies we have to recover. You know what I mean? Some days, like you told me this, You and Tim Bradley, if y'all would have never be like, hey man, you need to take some days off, like a whole day off. You know, not no active rest, just a whole day off. You know, recover. Just go sit in the sauna, steam room, or jacuzzi, something. Just relax. I still would be running myself in the dirt because I always felt like if I put more days in work, then I got just as much days over him, then he's not going to be able to catch up.
Yeah.
You know, so if you resting and I'm working, I got you. Because in the heat of the battle, when it comes time for us to go head to head, you gonna gas before me. I really believe that. If I take my body through hell in training camp, you know, and I'm tired and I'm aching, I'm pain, and I got all these pains, and I'm working through that, what can you possibly do to me to stop me from doing whatever I want with you? You know, I already been through the fire. This is fun now. You know, my body was aching and hurting, and I was like, in my mind, you better keep going. Ain't no stopping. So in a fight, you know, if I get tired or if I get hurt or anything, you know, my instinct's gonna pop in. Oh, we been tired before. Then that second wind kick in, then it's, you know, kill or be killed.
Yeah, that rest, man, especially as you get older, like I said, bro, it's essential, dog. You gotta do it. Like, I wouldn't have did it either. I had a good coach, brother. You know, he knew me, and I fight with him all the time on it. But if he didn't do that, like my desire to win and not want to lose and all that stuff, I'd have overtrained every time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so when you get older, you start spending more money on rehab, taking care of your body, massage therapist, physical therapist, and you do on actual training, bro.
Yes.
That thing shift. Your money starts shifting on that. Ice bath, you gotta do all of that. If you ain't doing that, you lose.
You know why? Because you got everything already. You is who you is. So when you younger, you trying to find your way. You trying to learn as much as you possibly can. You trying to see what works and what don't work. You know? So it's like, man, I gotta do this. Man, I gotta spar this dude to see if I'm on that level. But when you get to a certain level and you get to a certain age, you already know what works and what don't. You know what you gotta do. So it's like you don't gotta drill yourself in the ground because you already know how to get there. You know how to get there. You've been there before. You know what it feels like. So it's like, oh yeah, I'll take a little time to let my muscles recover, you know what I mean? Then I can get more out of it.
You'll be stronger the next day.
The next day. Because because the experience. But when you don't got the experience, you trying to figure it out. You like, man, I gotta work. Yeah. But then when you get to that point where you know, like, oh, I can take a rest day because, you know, let my muscles, you know, recover so I can get more out of it. In this fight, I ain't gonna get tired. I've been here before. I put the work in. That was always my fear, is being in the fight and getting tired to where I couldn't perform.
Man. And he not tired.
And I done lost like 2-3 fights in the amateurs, and it was hard. And I'm talking about me fighting for my life. Right. And I'm like, I never want to experience that ever again.
Straight up.
So I would just work tremendously hard to where it's like, that's the only way you can beat me, is if, you know what I mean, I don't prepare properly.
Man, I want to get into the fight, bro, but how does Terrence Crawford spend the day of the fight for a big fight like that? How did you spend the day of the fight, like before you went to the ring?
Whole day.
Yeah.
Just
you got any visitors? You got any people coming to see you?
Yeah, people come here and there, but I be chilling. Yeah. I thrive in chaos. I was brought up and born into chaos, like around. So like when some people, they be like, man, they gotta be quiet. I don't want people around me. I don't want no noise, no nothing. Man, that don't affect me. None of that. Like I be looking like, bro, yeah, you be chilling. Yeah, like Shakur come up there like, there's too many people in your room. We playing spades and stuff. He like,
open a chime checking account in 2 minutes. We'll spot you up to $200 for a festive spring and beyond. Apply now.
Create an online store but not sure what to do next? With managed WooCommerce hosting from Hostinger, you can skip the complex setup process and get straight to business. It's e-commerce hosting, but with more. Quickly and easily fill your site with search-friendly content and bespoke product descriptions written by our AI content.
It's about time you go to bed, champ. I'm looking at Shakur, I'm like, yeah, you right. I'm gonna go to this. All right, y'all gotta go. I got my little bro, man, kicking everybody out. It's time for me to go to sleep. Then I just lay down. I ain't even sleepy, dude. All right, I'm trying to, as long as I'm resting. You know what I mean? Stuff like that, but nothing affects me when it comes to like me getting in the ring because I'm already locked in. Once I lock on something, nothing else matters at that point in time. Like when I'm locked in. Like we can have a fight, we can argue. I was arguing before my fight. I was arguing, you know what I mean, on that doesn't once it's time to lock in, none of that matters. It's like I got a blank memory. Like none of that, I don't remember none of that until after the fight. Once it's time to, you know what I mean, seek and destroy and kill, it's like a straight line. Nothing else is there but that line.
That's a beautiful gift, though. You know, because a lot of cats can't turn that switch on. Like, everything has to be perfect for me to perform good. But you know how it is. You getting ready for a fight, but life still happens. Still getting phone calls. What happened? Who did what? What they say? You like you say, you got arguments going on. And it's stuff the week of the fight. Because most of the people the night before, bro, even our family, bro, they there, but they really don't know what this is about. Like, to most family members, it's a party. It's like,
I swear to God.
blood fighting. Drake fighting, Shakur fighting. It's a party. It's like, this is not a party, bro. Like, I'm finna go risk my life.
Yes.
But they'll start an argument and do something crazy. But for you to be able to turn that switch, brother, it's a beautiful, beautiful gift. And then you dealing with the chaos that's surrounding the fight. And to be able to block that out and lock in. We talked about the ring walk, bro. So the bell ring, and you go straight out there, hit him with 2 jabs to stand your ground. So I'm like, okay, so you trying to send a message. What message were you trying to send? Was that intentional or it just happened? And the first couple seconds.
No, I'm coming right at you. Because, you know, there was this big blow up thing that I was scared of. That's why I ain't scared of shit. You know what I mean?
Blow up thing.
Yeah, because he was just like, you know what I mean? He said he didn't say it, you know, but they was saying in the back, person, yeah, like I'm scared of him. I'm like, scared of you? Like, me? Oh, man. So I'm like, with this bell ring, I'm coming right at him. Coming right at him, you know, and just let him know that I'm going to be here all night. I ain't going nowhere. Talk me to the fight. So, you know, I'm touching him. I'm like, dang. All right. You know, I'm like, he's trying to will me to sleep because I'm like, this dude don't punch this hard. So I'm like, man, he trying to trick me. So everybody like, stay focused. Stay focused. You know, and then a couple of times that I, you know what I mean, mix it up with him and we in there. I just felt like I was stronger. I punched harder. And I could have just stood in there and just like really let him go. But you gotta follow the plan. You know, you gotta execute the plan, and the plan was to get in, get out, you know what I mean, boxing spurts, you know, banging spurts, and then, you know, once he wanna fight, you know what I mean, you move around a little bit.
Yeah, man, your body language, which is really big when I'm watching a fight like that, especially when it's a person that's supposed to be scared of somebody, right? All the little body language means something because he's so used to being an alpha male. He's so used to having his way, just like you are, that anytime you see somebody that's making a move or it look like they kind of, are you scared or you hesitant, you gonna peep that. You gonna see that right away. I didn't see that from you, man. I seen even when he was moving, I knew you wasn't gonna run. I've never seen you run in a fight before, so I was like, the challenge for Bud going into this fight is, can he be disciplined in boxing? Because he really don't want to be boxing. He really want to fight.
Right.
He'll move, but he really don't want to move.
Yeah.
And Canelo's like that too. He'll move, but he really don't want to move. And he did try to yoke you up though. Yeah. I ain't never seen you get yoked up. I looked, I said, dang, he tried to yoke you. But then you tried to yoke him back, I think, around the two. Yeah. What was you thinking when he tried to yoke you on the rope?
It wasn't nothing. When he picked me up, my hand.
But you don't be getting picked up, bro.
But it wasn't nothing because it was just like I was too high on his back. You know.
What was you thinking though?
I was
laughing.
laughing. It wasn't nothing. I was just
Yeah.
laughing. You know what I mean? I was just like,
You wasn't thinking I gotta get that back?
nah.
Yeah.
Because it was just like, he picked me up. Oh, okay. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't worried about it. He used a lot of energy to do that. That's what I'm thinking. You know, and it wasn't nothing. I took it out as a grain of salt.
You seem to be in a good zone, bro, and I didn't see you breathing at all. But that ninth round came. You got into your stance. You got lost. Oh, he finna try to bang with him. And you had those exchanges. And did that just happen, or you knew when that bell rang that ninth round, I'm finna try to see, I'm gonna test it?
No, I just knew just to pick it up because, you know, it was getting close to the championship rounds. And I just wanted to make sure that, you know, I set a tone that I was in charge. You know, I think I did that in the 7th round too. The 7th, you know, 11th and then 12th. You know, I just wanted to set the tone that, you know, you're not going to push me around. You're not going to make it seem like, you know, you the boss. So, you know, we got it in at that moment.
He made a big mistake at the end of that round.
Yeah.
He reached out and acknowledged that he shook his head and
Yeah, we ain't doing that.
yeah, that's a big mistake.
Yeah, we ain't doing that.
And he really made the first mistake at the weigh-in.
I remember that too.
People don't understand.
Oh.
Like, that don't mean everything.
Come on,
That don't
oh.
mean that Terrence was gonna win the fight or whoever gonna win the fight.
Getting
But
flustered though.
when you break that steer, it wasn't just to him breaking the steer first. He reached his hand out to you at the weigh-in. It's like, ooh-wee. Then he did it again in the 9th round. When he did it in the 9th round, I say, yeah, this fight, it ain't over, but it's over.
Huh?
He got his respect, and that's really what he came here to get. You seen him do that, right?
Yeah. I walked away.
Yeah.
I walked off.
Yeah. What was you thinking when you seen that concession?
I'm like, man, we ain't touching no hands.
Or did you think like, oh, I got it?
No, I didn't think nothing. I already knew I had it. I felt like I was winning all the rounds except, you know what I mean, one. I felt like he could have got the, you know what I mean, what was it, the 5th round? You know what I mean? But all the other rounds, I'm like, I'm in control. You know, but not knowing how the judges see it, I got to make sure, you know, from history, I got to make sure I win these championship rounds because we didn't see fights like De La Hoya, Trinidad, when De La Hoya think he got it in the bag and, you know, when he lose. You know, there's so many fighters that, you know, think they got it in the bag and, you know, the judges think different. So I wanted to make sure, like, in the Majimar fight that I put a stamp on it because they the champion, not me.
Yeah, you did that. Like, I really think, like, for me, it's the championship rounds for me is 10, 11, 12. It ain't just 11, 12. And in those rounds, you did that. And you really needed to do that because in the scorecard, you lost that 12th round, but you gotta split draw. We having a totally different conversation. And maybe y'all run it back or whatever and make more money, but it could have got handled that night. So I think that's just the instincts that you have being a winner. Like when you used to winning, you kind of know like what you got to do to keep winning. So you know, I thought that was just a that's the way you're supposed to finish that fight. How nervous were you waiting for the decision, given all the stuff you just named about how Vegas can be?
I wasn't nervous at all.
You weren't nervous at all.
At all. I was emotional because I already knew I had it in the bag. You know what I mean? That's why I dropped down to my knees like, dang. You know, I just started getting emotional because it's like the journey. The journey was long. You know what I mean? It was grueling. Something like, man, I remember, you know, about to quit boxing. You know, like boxing been a love-hate, you know, relationship for years. Like all the things that I had to go through in this sport, it was just like, man, like, and you finally here, like, out of all the things that happened, none of it mattered because you did this. And that's why I was just like, man, you know, you gotta thank God, because, you know, he the one that, you know, had it made for me and planned.
You kept saying that though before the fight. I heard your mom say you kept saying, you said it a couple times that it's already written.
It's already written.
Where did that come from? Like that mindset and
It's just my mindset, you know? And I remember, it's crazy because when I got shot, you know, a couple of homies was like, you know, scared, and like, because a couple of homies, they had fought, you know, and we knew gonna slide. I'm like, man, y'all niggas scared, man. Like, let's go. Like, what we doing? Like, if something gonna happen, it's gonna happen. We can't control it. That's how I always live my life. If something gonna happen, it's gonna happen. Like, me nor you can stop it from happening, no matter what. Boom, I get shot. Bam. Like, damn. My dumb ass got shot. I should've left. You know what I mean? Get shot through my car. So on the stage, I'm like, it's already written. What's gonna happen is gonna happen. You can't stop it from happening. The fans can't fight for you. It's already written. It's destined. That, you know what I mean? I'm here for a reason. You know, it's not you, it's me. I'm highly favored. God is blessing me and showing me and using me, you know, as a tool that anything's possible if you just believe in it and have faith. So there's nothing that Canelo could do that night that, you know what I mean, was gonna change destiny. So I was just like, man, I let everybody know.
Guys, we're about to hit a cliche. Help me out. Coming through. Sorry. Slow-mo in a chase. I'm losing it.
That's why I wasn't worried, because I knew I prepared myself.